That's what it sounds like when Transformers fight. Hello and welcome to the early starting Footy Wednesday Mates Edition pre-chat podcast show. Alongside me, Marnie. How are you, mate?
Pretty good, actually.
You doing good?
Vibing, yeah.
How was that wind?
Just today?
Yes.
Yeah, it was. Because I got here 4 p.m. and
Get the heck out of here.
In your office.
Oh, really?
I stole a packet of grain waves.
Oh, not stole. They're your waves to grain.
Great. Well, also because it had Mark written on that thing. Not the grain waves I stole, on the
You just stole Mark's grain
and I was
waves?
like, maybe this is his cabinet.
Oh, his locker, yeah.
His locker.
We used to have lockers, but I don't think we go.
Yes, and I was like, oh, maybe this isn't acceptable.
No, they weren't his grain waves. They were your grain waves
They're
to
in
have.
my tummy now, so they're being ripped apart with my tummy acid.
Were they his, it would be hard for him to reclaim them. But speaking of people and humans existing, Richard has gifted 5. Is this Richard every week?
Nice.
That
This is
Richard every week. He loves to gift them.
Twice weekly.
We call him Santa around here because he gifts.
That's so lovely.
But they both exist. That's all I mean to say. Hey, friends, thank you for hopping in early. I have to run to a premiere of a YouTube original series called Descent. So I'm going to get in my car and drive, and that was a great Tom passing there, and he's back. He loves to just cross.
Love to cross.
Brain is so warped that I hear that and go, oh, it's probably a show about umpires.
Yes, Descent. But yeah, and halfway through they just go, Jesus Christ, and then they would have to go 50 meters. And there's Tom again, folks, just crossing. He's walking around. What were you getting the Maslin scene a bit nicer, Tom?
Yeah, like when it cuts to Marnie's, because we have a guest later. Spoiler alert. It just looks empty, and I haven't done a very good job.
No, I think you've done a good job. And what's nice when you cross, it has the energy of an Alfred Hitchcock cameo in one of his films, just walking through the frame. Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, no, I haven't placed it well at all. It's okay. There's just a bit of emptiness to Marnie's right.
I think you need a plant.
Okay.
I could have this one, I guess. Yeah, come put it right here, Brodney.
Brodney?
Oh, that's good. Yeah, perfect. I just need to see the computer still. Oh no, that's blocking off some of Marnie now. Oh no.
But then it can be, it's like we're in the jungle. It's like I'm a celebrity, get me out of here.
Yeah, is that a good frame?
I think that's really good. I think it's beautiful mise en scene.
At some point, you're going to forget it's there, turn around to hit the computer and knock it over.
Yes,
Should I put it on my other side?
That'd be a classic Footy moment.
It'd be good comedy, unless it hits the computer and
Yeah, not good.
bad.
As long as it's in shot, I'm happy because I want this shot to be beautiful. I want us to win awards.
Let's have a look. Oh, perfect.
Is it good?
I
I'm
can
on
even
delay,
have it
so
as my
I'll
friend.
only know in a little bit of time.
7 seconds, in fact.
7 seconds is quite a long time.
Do you want me to wear this paper bag as well?
Would you?
It's too small. Sad.
Says a lot about your head.
Yeah, it does. Big bloody head.
Hey, how cool are these biscuits my partner Annie made? Why she
cool.
puts them in the plastic, I don't know. I think she wants the earth to finish earlier, but I think it might be a stale thing.
Yeah.
It's like a sanity thing, no? Because you don't want just like loose things like rattling around your bag.
Yeah.
Sanity thing?
Yeah.
Well, that would be CDs, DVDs, and merchandise for cool bands in the early
Yeah.
90s.
Like,
Headphones, I
Oasis
think.
is coming back apparently.
Yeah.
Do we care
Put
about
that
that?
on
I was
Okay,
so
okay.
shocked at how many people gave it.
I give her stuff.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't have picked that of you. Like, I thought there's just a band that had like a really fucking ripper
Anthem
album.
after anthem after anthem.
Yeah, just so long ago. That's all.
Well, I'm old.
Yes.
But
So am I.
shall we crack in?
Yeah.
Sure.
Shall we release the crack in?
You're the leader of this radio cowboy.
What the fuck did you just say?
Said you're the leader of this radio cowboy.
You're right. Fergus Patterson was gifted a membership by Mr. Borg, Dom Borg.
Oh, thank you, Dumbo.
Dom, we saw Dom at the live last week. Dom and his mum,
Oh, that's nice.
and maybe friend or brother or foe.
That'd be a funny way to introduce someone. So you're like, this is my foe.
And this is my mum. Foe and mum. And your mum can be your foe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Alrighty. As we say goodbye to the men's 28,000 rounds, sure, we take a break from the men's and a breath before the finals begin. But in that brief, fleeting moment, which next year will be wildcard round, we take a breath and put our focus to the W, which starts tomorrow night. And it's time to bounce that wapil. Hit it.
Oh, you want me to do the thing?
You'll notice I said wapil.
Yes.
Any guesses, guys, by what I might have meant by that?
Women pill.
Correct.
Put a W before the pill.
And yes, you put a W before the pill.
Yeah.
I don't have any jokes to do off that.
No.
But it's great to be here.
Yeah.
It's a smaller size.
The pill is a size smaller,
Yeah.
which would be easier to swallow for me. I chop up my pills.
Do you?
No.
I do like a little baby.
Really?
I
That's
take
so
them
funny.
all in one go, and it's actually one of those things I'm like, it's not worthy how like proud I am of the fact that I'm really good at taking pills.
For me, that is incredibly impressive because I had a lot of shame for a lot of my life about why I couldn't swallow pills. And I'd get like, have you ever had an Armour Force pill? Like they're a hefty pill.
They are hefty.
That for me is maybe 4 swallows.
Wow.
I break it into 4.
Really?
Yes. For like
I reckon I could do that dry.
a Nurofen, like a gel one, I can get down in one, but it's a very stressful affair where we have to get everything quiet and close the blinds and like I have to be near a sink because I'll spew back up pills.
Really?
They'll get caught in my throat. And I carried shame for a long time about why I can't swallow pills. And I've just accepted that I have a tiny throat.
Okay.
That's why when you shove your gullet, sometimes you vomit.
And sometimes,
Really?
if I'm really hungry,
Great.
Tom's out and about today. He's walking around. Sometimes,
Keep potting.
sometimes this is an important story. Sometimes when I'm really enjoying a meal, I will gobble 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 like a greedy little boy, like a naughty little greedy boy, and then people will just continue talking, but I'll start to panic because the food has got stuck in my throat.
God.
And then I'll just very quietly, and my brother Mitchell knows what's going on. Annie knows what's going on. I'll just quietly get up and walk away, and I'll go to but what I'm doing is panicking because I think I'm choking.
Yeah.
And then I'll go to the bathroom and go, "Ugh, ugh," and then work through it, and then come back with watery eyes.
Yeah, he'll come back crying. Like, did you just go vomit all that food up?
And it's not vomit. It's more of I couldn't swallow and I was dying. But I remain calm as I die now. But it's a huge round of footy for the W. It's the opening round. And we're so excited. We're going to have a very special guest later, a skipper of one of the 18 teams, co-skipper, to add a little more of a hint. Well, you would also call him a co-captain?
Yeah, co-captain. Yeah.
Co-skipper didn't feel right.
Yeah, skipper's a nickname for captain.
Yes.
Thanks, Tom.
You got weird energy today, but I'm here for it. Marnie, are you excited for W?
Yeah, I'm genuinely so excited, especially because like this week, my sign off to everyone is just, I'll see you at Windy. And I just love it. I'm just so excited to be back at Windy Hill.
Yes.
All the other grounds, obviously, but that's the first Melbourne game is at Windy. And then I'll be heading down the highway to go to GMHBA to see Geelong play your team.
Wow.
And then Frankston on Sunday.
Do you know if Chin Chin will be open for that game?
I assume so. I feel like Geelong have the best offering food-wise.
They have a Chin Chin.
Yes.
Can you go?
No.
Damn.
Yeah.
That because I'd love a review.
No, I can actually, yeah. For real.
It's like $80
Then no.
per head.
Really? It's like a proper sit down.
yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Can't imagine that at the football.
It's been a big week in lots of football, and we'll crack into the games for the W. We should do tipping, obviously.
Yeah, we should. And I have a tipping code for the competition. And only so far, only 2 people have joined.
Yes.
Oh, and it's not even us.
Yeah. So join the tipping for the AFLW that starts. Well, you need to do it by Friday PM at what time?
I assume it's the first game. The first game's in Sydney, Collingwood. I assume that would be 7.
Yeah, it says the next lockout is in 2 days, 1 hour and 33 minutes and 13 seconds.
Okay, so but is that like a a COVID lockout, so we can't leave the house, or
No,
just
that's when
for
you got to
groceries?
get first tip in by.
Because it seems strange that you would have that rule. Like they're going to stop us from going out. That would be really weird.
Can I read out the comp code?
Yes.
Please. I think that would be very helpful.
It's-
And this is afl.com.au.
Yeah, this is the tipping, and it's also in our link tree. I'm very organised. 3YDPE9UH. Bounce that pill.
3P.
No, bounce that tip.
Now, I haven't written it down and I can't see it in front of me, but that was 3YPDEP2H.
Close. 3YDPE9UH. Or go to our link tree or search bounce that tip.
3DPE9H.
Yeah, and next week we should go through and just shout out who won like the men's tipping and all that. But we'll do that next week.
Absolutely. We can do that next week. Now,
There's quite a bit of news.
let's just do it. I'll throw to you. And now for the news with Marnie Vinyl. I just want to point out very quickly that before we crack into the news, Marnie, that in front of us on the telly, on the Footy channel, an ad came up for CityLink and about using CityLink to go to the Footy. I'm going to do my research. I'm going to go away. I'm going to step away. I'm going to find out more about that ad, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to go harder than I've ever gone on an ad before. And when I'm ready, I'm going to get legal advice, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to go really hard. Marnie,
Yes.
big week in news.
Honestly, massive. Even just coming in and be like, oh, it'd be good to talk about W as a preview, but there's so much that went on in the men's space.
Yeah, everyone quit their teams.
Yeah. Also, I feel like you're trying to take my job with your Kane Corns episode. Like, that was really good.
Yeah, no, well,
It was like actually pretty good news voice.
I went to uni yesterday and became a journalist. Do you have to get a license?
No.
Do you need an accreditation for AFL coverage?
Yeah.
don't-
Well, I mean, no. I mean, this is technically AFL coverage.
Yeah, and the first day we ever did this podcast, a dark figure came to us in the car park and said, "You're playing with fire." And then I said, "Who are you?" And he said, "I'm Gillan McLaughlin, but don't tell anyone." And then he drove away and joined Tab, and so. But I'm unaccredited. But so yeah, there's been so much this week. Kane has gone to Channel 7, but I don't really care about that.
Yeah. Well, he had a lot to say, I think,
he?
about loyalty this week. And a lot of
interesting.
people have had some interesting things to say about player loyalty.
Yes.
And I don't want to dwell on it too much, but I would like to address the Petrarca stuff because I think a lot of people would also be wanting to hear what you probably think about it as a Melbourne person. And
I'm not
this
aware.
is- well, for context, Christian Petrarca in his exit interview, and this is what's been reported, in his exit interview made it clear that he wants to leave Melbourne and that he is, so all of that disgruntled stuff's kind of really come to fruition now of like, okay, well, he wants to leave and his preference would be another Melbourne club, which I think he's well within his rights to want to stay in the city that he's in and that his partner also has a life within. And a lot of the reports and I'm going to say fan chit chat has been kind of turned on, well, he's like all of this brand Petrarca stuff and he's in it for brand Petrarca. And, you know, AFL Daily, their headline for their podcast had the quote in it that he's selfish and immature for wanting this. It's also emerged this week that I think has been lost in a lot of this conversation is that he's spoken about how that surgery was life-threatening. He thought for a second that he might die. That is something so traumatic for him to go through, but also his friends and family to have to go through. He's talked about how he's battling insomnia, the post-trauma that would impact your body mentally and physically. I feel like that's all being lost and there's a lot of compassion that's actually been taken out of the conversation. And I've seen so much gross social media stuff that started to turn on his fiance, which is like ludicrous. Not only like she thought she was going to lose her partner for a second.
Yeah,
there.
she got told, right, by the surgeon at 3 a.m. That's what Christian said. It's like,
And so to be like, oh, well, he's just in it for himself. Okay. Isn't it really good that players have things outside of just their footy careers for their own mental well-being? And we talk about this all the time. And I don't want to equate his quote unquote brand with becoming a father. But we hear all the time players talk about when they become fathers, it actually makes them better footballers because they have other things to focus on. And when they're at the club playing football, they're at the club playing football. When they're not, it makes them a more well-rounded person, yada, yada. Like, it's a good thing that he has these cookie videos. Like, we've always celebrated it. And now suddenly he's like a really selfish person when he hasn't even said that he wants to focus on just that. And it's all come out because he has said that he wants to, well, it's reported that he wants to play in front of big crowds. Find me a single AFL men's player who doesn't want to play in front of a big crowd.
Yes. Well, I have a few things to say on this. Firstly, the Howie Games is the podcast he was on where he talked about this. And it's a side thought, but that podcast records across the hall from where the Auntie Donna podcast records.
Yeah.
So we'll be like, hello, Mr. Spoofy, and look over and how he's talking to Christian Petrarca or he's talking to Jared Waitley, having this really in-depth conversation. Well, I'm Mr. Doodle. Which is funny to me.
Yeah.
But so that's what I think about the idea. When I saw the footage from that chat, they're very serious. I'm like, we're across the hallway making the worst podcast that's ever been made. What's really shocked? Like my main overriding thought is I don't want to say too much because he hasn't spoken yet.
Yeah.
So like where I've been sitting, someone said to Sam Edmund and Tom Morris.
So sorry, Sam McClure broke the story.
And Sam McClure, there was a press sent out to them on Monday night saying that he has asked twice now that he'd like to move with a list of 5 things. And one of was Clayton Oliver's behaviour. One was crowd size, big clubs. One was performance of the team, amongst other things. That was less than 48 hours ago as we sit here. Since that moment, it's then gone to he's definitely leaving and he's definitely upset to the point now where there's been so much escalation without him ever talking that the discussion has now escalated to without it feeling like any official statement from either the football club or him that he's going to sue and go to the ombudsman and fair trade. Like that's where it's at now since 24 hours since something was potentially leaked.
Yeah.
So either it's all hot air or someone on his behalf is leaking or talking to the media on his behalf, or the media is making things up and adding layers as they go. Now, so both of those groups, management, if they are doing that, and media, are using a person who has, where we're hearing has post-traumatic stress disorder and is going through a mental health issue. So my genuine question is, who is doing this on his behalf? And I would imagine that anyone who is actually like, this is not good.
Can I talk about that?
Yeah.
Because so it was The Age that broke the story. So Sam McClure did it for The Age.
Yeah.
And within that story, like his sources, and he had multiple sources for the claims, but the claims were his exit interview, he said that he wanted to go. A lot of people are across that. So that's not necessarily coming from Petrarca. That's coming from someone at Melbourne or someone from Petrarca. And that players were really upset with him when they had a function on Saturday night. Anyone in the room can give that information.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily coming from Petrarca.
Yeah, but so this stuff about he can break his contract, it could be hot air or escalation.
And then the thing is as well is like, okay, so we make sure that everything that we print has multiple sources to it. You can't just be like, oh, well, the one person said one thing, whatever. So Sam McClure did his work there and everything is sourced correctly. But then once that story's out, any other publication, anyone on radio
can speculate.
It's been heard. I heard you say this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
and
then,
saying technically he can break a contract isn't saying he wants to. It's just purely, that's truth though.
Yes.
It's not a lie.
Yeah.
Because the main thing that I thought sitting through this all is someone who suffered through 12 months of PTSD personally and had to work through a lot of stuff personally for it. The last thing I would want is for it to be speculated on, for other people to talk on my behalf. So that's where I sit on that, but I don't know his circumstance at all. I don't so that's my whole thing. I'm sitting here and waiting until I hear anything from anyone who's officially and directly related to it.
And because that was the other thing was in Sam McClure's piece was that he had an interview lined up for Channel 7 that he thought was just going to be with Abby and someone else. And then when he found out, well, he thought because Mitch McCleary then tweeted about the interview. He thought Mitch McCleary was going to be doing the interview and he pulled out. So the suggestion there is he was ready for easy questions and then he thought he might get some harder questions and so he pulled out. Whether that's true or not, like we don't know and we'll never know.
Yeah, and he probably went and did Howie instead, right? Like,
The Howie
But
was
also-
6 months ago.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that's not 6 months, from ages ago.
Yeah, right.
That's
I didn't know that.
That's kind of, the SCA team were kind of clever with that in that they got some information and it kind of, maybe not they're doing or maybe they're doing, it felt like it came out this week.
Yeah, no, it felt like very relevant
Yeah.
to what's going on right now.
Yeah. But even if he's not ready to do an interview with a journalist, because he almost died. Like I got surgery on my fucking eye like a week and a half ago. And last week on this podcast, I almost had a panic attack and cried. And when I was just talking about the Brisbane Lions losing to Geelong or whatever it was.
Yes.
Like this shit is hard.
Yes.
Give just a little bit of grace. And also, like, I'm just really disappointed in the amount of fans who are being so gross about this, where it's like, again, a player went through something super traumatic. Shouldn't we wrap our arms around him as a community? Like,
Yeah.
I get that you might not agree with everything that he's
I think,
quote unquote doing because we don't actually know, really.
yeah.
But we can still care about him as a person.
I think it comes back to if the way it's expressed to the wider public is a bit, what's the word? Not careful.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think to get a sensational headline or to get like the Fox Footy Suck It Up Princess YouTube video that came out yesterday wasn't actually what Robbo said, but it came across and looks where people don't watch the video. They'll just see the headline. When things are done that way, I think it creates an environment where people go to 10 out of 10 hurt or 10 out of 10 distressed or 10 out of 10 and a lot of people don't know how to, when I'm hurt, I fight back. When I'm personally attacked, I go like this, and that's for people personally to deal with. But at the same time, it's Fox. It's every one of them needs. I'll go back to what I said at the start. It's been 48 hours since the first thing was leaked, and none of that. It just feels like it's self-manifesting.
Yeah, it is, because I think it's feeding a bias. And I think the bias that I see is with old heads in footy. They see contracts that are crazy and they have this idea of, oh, you got the massive contract, you stay at the club, you don't dare complain, first sign of any trouble you want to walk. And it's all that rubbish that feels so footy to me, so old footy to me. And that's like, that's being perpetuated around the community, I think.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it in more detail when we know more, I think.
Yes, definitely. We have 5 minutes to our guest. Would you prefer to
We've got
look?
15.
Oh, okay, sweet. Oh, okay. Should we have a look in some lighter news and what I get really excited about as the All-Australian 44-person squad has been announced, and there's some really, I think, exciting stories to come
Oh,
out of
please
this.
give us your favourite exciting stories.
Okay, so Max Gawn is up for his 7th Blazer. If he's to get it, he'll be the 10th player in AFL VFL history to have 7 or more All-Australians. That is so sick.
And I was like, that was my thought as this season ended. Is I've got like 3 more years, I reckon, of watching this guy, and he's the best Melbourne player since Robbie Flower to play. He's easily the best player in our team at the moment. He came from nothing. He's an absolute star. He's a lovely person, and I'm so rapt to be able to watch him.
Would you say he's your favourite? Melbourne?
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
And Marcus Bontempelli's 1 down, so he's up for his 6th
He's all right.
Blazer.
Pretty good.
Do you reckon he's going to get the Broden this year?
No,
I
and
don't.
it's completely outrageous and silly.
Well, that's it. Like, if it was independent judges, it looks like it'll be Dacos plus someone, but it should be Bond.
It should have been Bond for many, many years now, and it hasn't been, so don't have much faith.
Yeah. So obviously every single year we're going to get this person missed out, this person missed out. What about this person?
Yeah.
But the 2 names that kept popping up were Rowan Marshall and Sam Flanders. So there's a bit of what happened there?
Yeah,
those two?
I think for me, Rowan Marshall should have been ahead of Darcy Cameron. I think if you're talking ruck for ruck, and same thing, Noah Anderson should not have been in the side over Sam Flanders. Sam Flanders is Gold Coast best player. So just on the direct comparisons there, I think they have a right to be upset.
Dylan Moore
Yeah.
has higher stats than Jason Horne-Francis in the same position, and there was a lot of chat about him and Hawthorn.
Yeah. There's a lot of that goes around, and obviously sometimes we like to judge by the eye rather than the stats, right? But I think there's definitely some causes for some arguments for some grievances there.
But then on the flip, I also think that stats are often taken into consideration more than actual impact
Yeah,
quite often.
that's true.
Anyway,
Because a lot of these people don't even watch every game. That's what I reckon.
Freo has the most players selected, which also adds to the argument that they probably should have made finals.
Yeah.
And then the teams that had the least, Melbourne, Essendon, and St Kilda, who all only had one player. If Joe Danaher gets a blazer, it'll be his first one from 2017, and I love that. I just love that Joey's back in contention for AA blazer. And there's so many players up for their first All-Australian blazers ever. So my favourite from this list is Massimo D'Ambrosio.
Yeah.
It's so cool. He could not get a game at Essendon, and then Hawthorn picked him up, and now he's in the All-Australian squad. Like, that's so cool.
Yeah,
I
It is
love
hard.
it.
It's hard, and it was sad when because that Essendon list was so stacked that he
Yeah.
just couldn't get in there.
Couldn't find a way. 21-year-old, the world ahead of him, couldn't find a way in,
I know. Adam Treloar's never had a blazer, so he's been in the squad 3 times, but he's never been All-Australian.
Do you think he'll make the 22?
God, I actually don't think so. But I
don't
would
think so.
love it if you did.
Yeah, I think it would be grouse if you did, but no, I don't think so.
I feel like Jesse Hogan's got to be a lock after getting the Coleman.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it'll be 3 Hogans
And it'll be his first.
in the forward line. People will miss out for 3 Hogans.
I don't know. There's so many names
Yeah.
on this list that I love. I can't believe Nick Blakey's never had a blazer. Chad Warner's never had a blazer.
I would be worried for all the Swans players because it'll be curious to see whether they go by that first chunk or that last chunk. Because I feel like they all had a 75% stellar year, and maybe that's enough to get them over. But they all dropped off.
Yeah.
Yeah, at different times. Yeah.
And Max Holmes is the other one I just love. I think he's a great player.
From Geelong?
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. And Christian Cherry as a ruck.
Yeah.
But the ruck position is going to be hard.
I think it'll be Cherry and Gawn.
It
And
should
Rowan
be.
Marshall will be stiff.
Yes, yeah.
But speaking of Treloar, he's in doubt as well for that first final against the Hawks. With
Is he?
calf tightness. So that sucks.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Also, who won't be playing is Matty O's. His 1-match ban was upheld for a dangerous tackle on Jack Higgins after a marathon night.
Is this Owies?
Yeah.
This is insane.
It was
You see
because
this?
I Pickett's his hearing went for 3 hours, which means that Matthew Owies' one didn't start until after 10 p.m. and then went for ages. And Carlton is still literally they've made their decision, and Carlton is still arguing but what about his character? And they're like, just wrap it up.
They came back and argued some more.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Zeta's last tweet was like, "It's done. Bye."
No. But he's had 33 goals this year. I feel like he's actually quite important.
Yeah, right.
For the Blues, especially in their
I know.
elimination final against Brisbane.
I know Owies well.
Bunch of trade stuff. So Liam Baker has officially requested a trade. He wants to go to a Perth club.
Yeah, well, he wants to go to West Coast, right?
Yeah.
And they don't have a coach. So how do you know that your new coach likes you? And the same goes for who else is going over there? Potentially Shea Bolton.
Yeah.
Like, what if the coach doesn't like you? And Freo,
Yeah.
do they have the room to trade? Do they want Bolton? I don't know if they do. They've got the picks to be able to do it. But Liam Baker, it's interesting. You'd want to hope that the new coach likes you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You really would.
And then
And
Rioli.
speaking about Eagles, Tom
Oh,
Barrass wants to go to Hawthorn. Requested that, and Daniel Rioli has confirmed his trade that's been long speculated that he would like to go back to being coached under Dimmer.
Tom, you're the list manager for Gold Coast.
Gold Coast.
Yeah. Would you give your first pick for him?
I think so, just because of our very special privileged academy position. So we don't necessarily need the high pick. We probably need the points. So we could trade the coaches for a bunch of lower picks or flips and picks. So yes, I think we would. But I don't know where Daniel fits into the team, and obviously he will fit into the team. So I don't know. There'll be some interesting moves. Maybe Max stays forward, sort of thing.
The other one is, and this is I was announced, I think, this morning, is John Noble. So he was the 23rd player the 24th player, I guess, for Collingwood in the grand final year, and then has announced, he went to Fly and said, my family's all moved up to Gold Coast. And so they're going to make it happen from all accounts, but they're very upset They're not mad at him, but they're really upset that they've lost him.
Yeah, well, maybe they should have played him in the grand final after 150 consecutive games or whatever.
Guys, Fly did a really interesting chat about how he's like, we really need this guy, and I'm really conflicted because one of the main pillars of this club is family and how important family is. And he's coming and saying, because of family, I'm leaving. He's like, well, I've got no fucking foot to stand on here.
Oh, I love that transparency though, talking about it like that.
Yeah, but that is like, Rioli will be good, but I think we get Noble as a developing young player off the back run.
Yeah, I don't know who you move, so that'll be fascinating. Flanders has been really good there all year, but he played half forward for the last 3 rounds, so maybe you flip him forward. But then we have a lot of guys who just love to sit on half back, like Powell and who was the guy, Lockie Weller.
Yes.
Yes, they live on half back. That's what they do. So suddenly you'd have 4 excellent half backs. Yeah, it's just going to be interesting if they bring them in, what they do.
My favourite club, St Kilda delisted Seb Ross, whose wife's name is Marnie. I found that out today.
Right,
Someone
cool.
texted me that. But he said that he wants to continue playing, so he might end up at another club if anyone wants him.
This is good. Now, Marnie,
Yeah.
this is all good news, but where's the crime? Where's the vigilantes? Where's a coach murdering a child? Not really, but what?
I would give anything to be sitting in a coffee shop and just look out the window and see Michael Voss doing a citizen's arrest, just tackling a teenager, just out on his morning coffee.
Like some kids stole a car.
Yes.
They flipped it.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh because that's actually.
But the report could have
serious.
been that Voss could have flipped the car with his, because we had Lewis Young and Jordan Boyd in here who told us a story of they were all working out in the gym. He walked in at 85 years old, sat up on the bench and lifted 200 kilos or something, like 140 or some massive amount, and then walked out. So he's very strong and
He's massive.
He subdued a boy.
Yes. Well, yeah. So I can't remember which morning it was. A morning this week, a Mercedes-Benz lost control and flipped in Hawthorn, like completely flipped. And then 2 teenagers emerged and just ran away. And so Michael Voss and the cafe owner at the cafe he was at chased the kids down. They got one of them and they performed a citizen's arrest, which is, what a story.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's made me so excited. I'm going to go and get one of the co-captains of the Carlton Football Club women's side.
Just talk about this more.
The funniest thing, I don't know if this is true, but I read that when he came back to the cafe that Patrick Cripps was there eating breakfast. I was like, hey, what are you doing?
That's funny.
Don't know if that's true. I saw that on Twitter, but
That's a funny detail.
yeah.
I love all the like random details that you get in stories like this. Like I really wish that they added like what type of coffee he was drinking.
Double shot, latte or something.
Yeah.
Any more news?
Well, the only thing we haven't talked about is the AFLW. Oh my goodness, AFLW fixturing.
Yep.
But we can. Hey, Mimi.
Hey.
Hi.
Oh, just here.
Yeah, you're next to me.
Great result.
Folks, we're joined by...
She's a bit late. You know, traffic.
Yep.
You know how it is.
Folks, we're joined by one of the co-captains of the Carlton...
Co-vice, but that's right.
Co-vice.
Co-captain.
Co-vice.
That's what I thought. And then when he kept saying it, I was like, maybe I've got it wrong.
I'll roll with co-captain.
We've got breaking news. Mimi's been demoted. Please welcome Mimi Hill from the Carlton Football Club. Hey, mate.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. It's a cute studio.
It is a cute
Is that
studio.
what you call it?
Yeah.
This question's not approved, but I wanted to ask you about Michael. Have you seen Michael Voss throw any cars
God.
or arrest anyone at the
He
Carlton?
does it quite often, actually.
Yeah?
The car park. Yeah, dangerous place.
So he sort of checks everyone as they come in.
Yeah.
He's like, this isn't
He's
stolen,
actually
is
on the
it?
door. Yeah, it's good.
That's crazy. As you've got a new coach this year as well.
Second year with
yes.
Bucky. Nearly forgot his name. It's not a great start.
Well, you're co-coach now as well, co-vice
Absolutely,
coach.
yeah. As of today. So that's cool.
Yes, thank you. Is that all the news, Marnie, by the way?
Well, I want to talk about AFLW fixturing.
Perfect
The doggy
timing.
stuff, though.
Yes.
We probably, I mean.
You don't
how much
need to
you can
comment on
Yeah.
But we're
I'm across it, I think.
You're across it?
No, absolutely not. What are we talking about?
so the men's final is on the same night as the launch
actually.
at Widden Oval.
You read the news? I assume you read everything that I do, Mimi.
Yeah,
So I'm confused
a big
about
fan
this.
on the Instagram. No, isn't it like they schedule the games at the same time? Yeah.
Yeah.
Silly.
And the Bulldogs. Also, do you know that this is live?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sweet.
I told her she was swearing a lot outside, and I was like, and then I was like, don't do
No,
that.
I listened to the pod and you swear a little bit.
Yeah, she
And I
does.
know I actually thought about it today, and I was like, I need to
just
stop doing that.
randomly
I need to every time someone from a club mentions they listen to it, I'm like, oh yeah, I need to be way more professional than I am.
No, I think you added in at like the right times, Like,
I'd
it's not
hope
overdone.
so.
Yeah,
But even
no.
like when I started,
Elegant. It's tastefully done.
Elegant F word.
Yeah.
and actually this is on my own feedback thing. It's like I need to calm down a little bit with the Essendon stuff, because every time I go to clubs now, I met someone the other day at a club and they're like, oh yeah, but you go for Essendon, don't you? And I was like, oh.
Yeah, but
Got a lot of fans out there.
I think that's more that people just know your profile, because I know that Jared Whaley goes for Geelong,
Geelong.
and I know that Joel Selwood goes for Geelong, and I know that Anthony Hudson goes for Geelong. So I know who all these guys go for.
You don't have to answer this, but like as a player, would you prefer to know whose media people?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
And
thought
it's
as well. The
if there's a little
transparency.
bit of
better.
bias there, I'm like, well, I go for them.
Like if I report like an Essendon Carlton game
And you're like,
and I interview you in the rooms afterwards,
but I
was
hope
that
like
even in
because
your
you
head?
like me,
yeah.
that you'd like still be nice to me.
Well, historically. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So there's the fixturing for that Friday night game.
Yeah. And like super disappointing, I think, because the Bulldogs lobbied so hard when they found out that their men's were playing finals to not have a clash. So they got on the front foot and said, please don't schedule these two games at the same time, especially because Sydney were the minor premiers, so they should have got the Friday night spot anyway.
And they asked for the Friday
And
night.
they asked for the Friday night spot, and then
Wait, so
they
why
didn't give it.
give it to them?
Great
ratings.
question.
Ratings.
Good question.
So Andrew Dillon was on the on Fox Footy on 360 on Monday night, and they both were Jordan Lewis and Jared Waitley were quite firm on that. They're like, why is there? They didn't even go into the W of it, surprisingly. They went into they talked more about Sydney finished first. They told you when they wanted to play. They wanted the night game. They wanted that sold out. Why didn't you do that? And he's like, I think everyone's excited to play finals. And it was essentially said that for 15 minutes. And then, so doggies were planning this Whitten Oval launch game. They've been redeveloping the whole.
Yeah, so it's their first home game at
Yeah.
Whitten, and they only get 4 games at Whitten Oval this year.
Weird, because other teams get to play Whitten, don't they? Not even.
Yeah, Essendon and Sydney are playing at Whitten. I was like, okay, fair enough.
Windy Hill's pretty scary, to be honest.
Because of the wind? Or because of the Essendon crowd or something?
Isn't the windiness is to do with the fan base being feral, isn't it?
yeah. That's how it.
Yeah, it's the wind. It's like
it's like
Chicago's
the-
the windy city. Do you know why Chicago's the windy city?
No.
Because all the politicians would go there and they blow hot air.
Is that actually why it's called that?
Yeah, it's not windy at all.
Ah, I didn't know that.
Well, now we've all learned something. Now, what else do you want to know about Chicago? Do you know that the
Deep
river,
dish.
the river runs the opposite way? Usually, rivers run.
Wait, that's why. Are you doing this?
No, so rivers usually run.
That's really cool. Are you not appreciating that?
Yeah.
Why don't you appreciate my river stories? So, rivers usually run to the
sea,
ocean.
yeah.
But the river that runs through Chicago is on a Great Lake, so the size of Eries Inlet. So the ocean here, but because it's a lake, it's not the ocean. The water is running into the river out of the lake as opposed to towards the ocean. So when you look at it, you're like, why is the water coming out of the ocean?
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
I need to see that.
Yeah. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's do the footy with Mimi live from Chi-Town.
Absolutely.
With the DNC convention was there. Irrelevant though. But
I mean, I do want to talk more about the AFLW stuff, but I was like, that's a good segue into you being a science person. Right.
Yeah, science person.
chemical engineer.
No, okay. So okay, let me just get this straight. I studied a Bachelor of Science, right? And you have to like select a major. And I've just really churned through the majors because they just weren't working for me. So I started in like some physics one, just a bit much, and then chemical engineering, also a lot. I don't think I'm good enough at maths to do that. So I just decided physiology. Makes more sense, like I'm a footballer.
Yeah,
Let's talk hex. Now,
Let's do it. I actually don't even understand it.
okay, that's a
Like,
worry.
there was something about like some 7% increase or something. I don't know.
I know. And people were
Indexing.
mad. I was like, I'm just not going to check mine and then I don't have to care about it.
We went to a university in quotation marks where our hex was very tiny, but it's insane
Yeah, it's cooked.
how much Do you get out of these courses before that, like before the trigger?
I have absolutely no idea.
That's a worry. That's a
don't
worry. We need to
But
get
I don't
you a
do the
Nike.
expensive subjects.
What
like
uni are you at?
Melbourne.
Oh, fancy.
Not the cheap one, yeah.
No, yeah. Well, I mainly chose it because it was close to Carlton. I was like, that makes sense, right? I can
Yeah.
ride my bike. No, the art subject's really expensive. So it's like there's not as many jobs. So they want people doing like science and stuff. So.
Oh, so there's an incentive to do jobs where there's actually careers. As I say that as an arts graduate.
Same.
Yeah.
2 arts degrees, yeah.
Wow. Educated.
Yeah,
business degree.
Congratulations. I did chemical engineering as well, actually.
You didn't.
No, I didn't. No, I did.
Oh, I didn't either. I didn't finish it. So
So what was what are you still studying now?
yeah. I've got ages to go. It's part time.
How many days a week do you do? Because I just mentioned it because the skipper of the men's side for the Gold Coast, Jared Witts, recently finished his degree.
Yeah.
And there
But
was
he did one subject a semester or something.
yeah, crazy.
That's a long slog.
I don't know what I think he was doing something like good.
Doesn't Cripps have a like psych degree?
Really?
I'm asking you. You're asking me. I'm pretty sure he does.
He's a pretty
man.
smart
Yeah.
fellow.
Yeah. good for him.
Who else is smart in the W side, in your side?
Amelia Villado, one of my good mates, is doing like a law and media degree.
Oh,
So I don't even know if she
that's
wants to be a
interesting.
lawyer, but she sounds pretty smart when she says that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Maddie Hendry's like commerce girly, you know.
Yeah, cool.
And then
Yes,
who's
those
the
two.
least smart?
No comment.
No, they're all pretty smart. So shall we pivot to talk about the W launch and this week? Did you go to we all went to the AFLW
I was
launch?
there, yes. We actually saw each other.
I
didn't-
I saw you.
Oh, you saw me?
Yeah.
So why'd you ask? That's kind of weird.
Well, yeah, I was trying to make it a nice comment. But what did you think of the gigantic tree?
Oh, I love the tree and like the people.
There
I
was-
actually have a funny story about it.
Please.
You know how like the people emerge from the back? It's not that funny, but it's funny. And they're like dancing up to everyone. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah. It freaked me out.
Yeah, there was a lot. I kind
Yeah.
of loved it. Like, they were having fun.
Yeah.
They would
Anyway.
not try it at the men's launch, I don't think. This was groundbreaking stuff.
Yeah.
There was a tree.
It was like a woman. There was a bit of a medical incident where a woman collapsed. I think she's okay. She ended up, but like she like collapsed and they all got her up and then the dancers come out and I'm like, oh my God. And the dancers start going up to her and I'm like, no, stop. Like absolutely not. Didn't read the room. Anyway, apart from that, I thought they were great.
But the dancers started dancing on the
Yes, like,
person.
because they didn't know. So they were like dancing up and I love how I'm doing like the
Yeah.
I'm so glad this is live streamed. Yeah, anyway. So that was quite funny, I thought. But I
Wow.
enjoyed the night.
Yeah. My
Oh,
favorite comment from
the
you,
food was
like
good.
Broden said that it was quite easy to tell who were the players and who were the journalists. I
Why
was
is
like,
that?
Well,
Yeah, why
well,
is that?
I'll tell you right now. Is the journalists look like people who are journalists?
Yep.
And then you guys are all jacked. Like,
Yeah, it was like
just like
okay, the Hawthorn girls.
I know.
I don't know what they're eating at that club, or
yeah.
like they just haven't left the gym for 12 months. But
Yeah,
like,
right.
And we're playing them on Sunday. I'm like,
yeah, but it's like in the 2000s. The Brisbane Lions were massive. They were
okay.
just big tree trunk.
yeah.
Well, was that?
But then they do a 3-peat.
Yeah, they killed
Yeah.
and they killed smaller teams. The end. And so you're in big trouble. No, and then what happened is the team that came after them was Port Adelaide.
Yes.
No one could beat them for 3 years. And Port Adelaide said, we're never going to be as thick as them. We're just going to run.
Yeah,
And so
absolutely.
they outran the big bullies. So,
I like to think we can run
yeah.
pretty well. Yeah,
I feel like you've got a pretty physically solid side.
we're okay. We're not the
Yeah.
smallest in the league.
Who is the smallest?
Melbourne's midfield, they're so strong.
yeah.
But they're just like, I'm not
Yeah.
tall. And
Yeah.
I walk out there, I'm like, all right. Like,
So,
Nice.
one of our tiniest players is Shelley Heath,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
a gun.
who is a black belt in judo, like or something like
outrageous.
will kill.
Yeah.
Could you know?
Probably won't kill you, but
no,
could.
but had the capability
Yeah.
to. John Wick never kills anyone, but he could. That's fact checking. No, he kills lots of people.
Yeah, he murders.
Great. Shall we talk about? So, should we tip?
I feel like I'm derailing this podcast.
No,
No,
I-
this is the.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
Very
the
much
vibe.
how I operate as well. So it's, yeah.
You did. You did mention the food, garlic bread pile.
I didn't hit. I saw it, but I went to the paella stand. You guys are saying paella. I've listened to your pod just to like get a little.
Please,
You know.
paella.
You're saying it weirdly. Is that weird?
I say paella, don't I?
Paella.
No, it's paella.
I don't know why I'm saying. I'm
It's
not.
paella.
I was like, okay.
But
It's
you're
paella.
saying it weirdly.
Paella.
Okay, let's just stop that. Anyway, what
Yeah,
did that say?
Because the Spanish don't
about
say
the
the L's.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I'm
chicken
wrong.
is
Well.
chicken is spelled polo. So in Italian it'd be like, can I get the polo fungi? Is what you say at the La Poqueta. But when you go to Spain, so like in Breaking Bad, it's Los Pollos Hermanos.
Great show, yeah.
Yeah. So and it's drugs. It's a drug front.
How I wish Matisse walked in just as you
Yeah,
were saying.
Yeah, so
she's
it's
probably
blue.
gonna like be really stressed that she's not here because I think people get nervous like when I do media stuff. They're like, oh my god, quick check what she just said. Guys,
Well-
I'm okay. Like,
Yeah, well, let's get back on the rails. So Heisenberg he goes by, and the efficacy of what he makes is 94% pure. And so he makes the best drugs in all of New Mexico,
great.
and he makes so much money. It's the best show ever.
Yeah.
Second best.
I've never
What's
seen
best?
it.
You should watch it.
Yeah, I
it's
feel
a
like
lot.
I would like it.
It's quite intense, but
Yeah.
You might think I'm a 35-year-old guy, but I think the best show ever is The Sopranos. And then the second best is maybe Breaking Bad. I'm really special like that. Mimi,
yes,
you're a big op shopper.
I am.
Can we...
Well, you keep going.
I was going to go, do you love that Macklemore song?
I don't love it, but I'll sing along to it.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
You're
it's
like,
kind
it's
of
a
annoying, but
classic.
like I
Yeah.
can't help it.
Would you have it played at your funeral?
No, absolutely not.
Like, because you're like, I was an op shopper, so
It's
I
not
like...
like my main thing, but bit of a side.
Would you consider it for me? Well, I just think it'd be funny.
Sure.
Even,
Okay.
and the person can be like, just I want everyone. This wasn't Mimi's favorite song, but she liked op shopping,
Yeah.
and Broden insisted.
that guy I met that one time. Yeah.
Wouldn't shut up about Breaking Bad. No, you're a big op shopper. Are you a Savers person?
So I've kind of evolved. So mum used to take us to Savers. I think it's the Savers in Abbotsford. Is that one? Abbotsford.
There, yeah. Oh, that might
Is
be
it
a.
Savers or is it something else?
I think it might be a.
Oh,
Like
the massive salvos?
Salvos.
Yeah.
Sal-
I'm a
Salvos.
Salvos girl. I've always started Salvos girl. I used to not like it because, like, you know, when you're little, you're like, Mum, can we go home? But no, I really got into it and she taught me really well. But now I try to be a little bit like India, you know, head to Smith Street, and they're not necessarily op shops, more like secondhand, like.
oh, and the
thrifty
ones that do the markups.
Yeah. Well, no, not those ones. The ones where you like, do you know Goodbyes? There's one on Sydney Road actually. You
That
don't know?
surprises me that there's a secondhand shop on Sydney Road. That really surprises me. No, but no, I haven't been to Goodbyes. No.
No, it's good. You should hit it up. So like you bring your clothes, they're like cool brands, whatever, and then you get
yeah.
like 40% of what it sells for. Yeah. Anyway, so those are my favorite. There's a lot of stuff that's like a little bit too alty for me because I'm like pretty basic, so I just skim through that. But you find the good stuff, yeah.
What items of clothing are you cool to wear and not cool to wear? Does that make sense? So I would not get secondhand shoes potentially for me.
No, shoes are pretty good.
You're all right with that?
Well, like you're not gonna buy like the really trashed ones. But
No.
Yeah. No, shoes are okay. Like I don't know. Most things are good to go,
Yeah.
but like op shops do sell like undies and stuff. I'm probably not.
Yeah. Well,
No.
yeah.
I love it for sports stuff, like the boys section.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I found like some really cool like Australian stuff, like Australian
What do you
cricket.
mean by Australia? Oh, okay.
Like Australian.
Oh, like sport, not like athleisure wear.
No, yeah, no.
Like sporty.
Yeah, like
I always look
love,
for
like,
Carlton like
vintage-
retro, but
Yeah,
I never
it's so
find it.
cool.
Yeah, Cody Waitman does that.
Yeah, that's like who I was kind of trying to base my thing off, but then I can't find any Carlton stuff because.
Oh, you feel like
Well, I think that you still get snapped up because
Yeah,
there's like
true.
thousands of members. I don't know.
yeah.
They're calling it SEN and they're looking for old hats. That's the entire fan base of Carlton. That's exciting. So the women's coaching comp through the systems, you've got something to do with moving into assistant coaching. Is that right?
Not me. I do like a bit of coaching at Carlton,
Right.
Which is really good. I really enjoy coaching, especially girls. But like one of our players, Jess Dalpos, still playing, but she kind of has like a coaching role at the club, which is cool. She helps out with the forward line. And we've actually got 2 female coaches as assistant coaches. So it's really cool, like people coming through the
Yeah.
ranks.
How old were you when the first W season was?
2017?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick maths, I don't know.
Well, like,
Probably like
How old are you now?
15.
yeah.
maybe?
So did you
Yeah.
you seeing what impact did that have on you at that time?
Well, that was when I first started taking footy seriously. So I was like, this is really cool. I can actually go somewhere with this. And then the year before I got drafted, I went to I just remember it really vividly going to the season opener of Carlton v Collingwood at Icon Park, and I was sitting there and I was like, this is so cool. And then like maybe 8 months later, I got drafted to Carlton. So I was
That's so cool.
Did you want to be was it a brain switch where you went, hang on, this is a thing I can do now? Or had you before that, was it like, no, this is what I want to do before that? Does that make, we had Georgie Parker on recently who grew up loving footy.
Yeah, and she couldn't.
And she's like, I'm just going to do this hockey thing. But when you were coming through.
Yeah, well, it was like for a while I had that like pathway, I could see it. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
So when you coach kids coming up today, sorry, I'll let you speak.
Not at all.
Do they come through with a different level of mentality for it now than
I think it is a bit different, especially like when I got drafted, it was still, it was a bit different. Like there's probably some people on this that shouldn't be on this. Does that, I don't know if that's rude to say, but like the depth is so much better now that it's really hard to get drafted. So I don't know, they know they need to work a lot harder. And when they get into the AFLW, it's not just like you're ready to go straight away. You got to work hard for your spot.
Oh, yeah.
Even to like keep your spot, right? Because like right now you need to take 2 draft spots to the draft, which means you have to have 2 spots free.
It's crazy. You have to, I think it's like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
You have to change your list by that much.
Yeah.
Which
So
is
you
a
have
lot
to,
when you have 30 on the list.
Yeah. Fight to keep your spot, which I mean, it's like great for as a fan.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. Make sure everyone's like fighting for their spot.
Yeah.
And like it's super competitive. And also just, I don't know, the potential to see younger ones play their games quicker is exciting. Because sometimes you can have people like fringe players that you never see. Also, because it's only
like
11
games
rounds
in their career, and then they're
which sucks.
That does suck.
But even just because I remember when Bucks got the coaching
Bucks,
job, I know.
Okay.
Well, also because I can't remember his full name all the time.
Matthew
even
with
when you
one
said,
T.
Yes.
Crazy.
I disagree with it.
Because I called him Matthew Buckley on this show once.
That's what I call him.
And I was like, if I just stick with Bucks, then I'll be
Matthew
sweet.
Buckley.
I know. And I was like, whoopsies.
No, he would have linked into it. He's a nice guy.
When he got the job, he'd done work with the VFL men's program, but not a lot with the women's program at that stage. And one of the first questions I had to him was like, well, like, why do you want to coach women? And he was very like passionate about it. Yeah. And I do like that he was honest, being like, it is very different. And I do think it is very different coaching men to coaching women, which is why it's important to have like women coming through the pathways, because it's also like, I mean, you can talk to this, I can't, but like the athlete experience is different. And because I spoke to Natalie Wood, who's the head coach at Essendon recently, who said that she's never played AFLW. So she's obviously played Darebin her whole life. Well, not, I don't know, she might have played other places, but she plays Darebin Falcons now. But because she's never played AFLW, she brought Kristen Bernardi on as
how do you say her name?
I was like, I can see it in my head.
I just call her Benno.
But well, she brought Bernardi in as a development coach because she wanted someone on the coaching ranks that had played AFLW. Yeah, to be able to like relate to players in that way. And I like that we're going to be seeing that more and more.
Christina Bernardi.
Christina.
Yeah, that's exactly what we said. I don't know. I said Christian. Yeah. I was like, that's a boy's name. Yeah. Not that gendered names, but, you know. Can you edit it so I just said straight up Christina Bernardi?
Once I've had my round.
Me, like I literally played with her and she's one of my friends. I'm like,
who is it? Yes, great. Should we do tipping, but you have to just, you don't have to say anything?
I'll say.
Yeah, you can.
Of course. I don't know what people can and can't say, but we're just going to go through.
If I can't say things, I'll just be like,
Yeah. I'll drill you and go, no. Shall we do tipping?
Yeah, I'm ready.
This is for the W. Do you want to do the thing?
Yeah, do you want me to do the thing?
Oh, for the W. Oh, okay.
Tom, sting me.
Tipping.
I forgot about that.
Tipping.
We disrespect
Tipping.
Sting.
How does it sound like?
Sing it.
You're back.
The first game, Friday night, we welcome back the W. It is Sydney versus Collingwood at North Sydney Oval. Now, in my opinion, and your opinion, I've heard you say, it's the vibing town in Vibe Town.
Yeah, but it's not at Henson Park.
It's not at the it's not
No, but I think that one goes off. It's apparently a really small oval, but it like pumps.
Oh, I really wanted to fly up for this. I'm actually really disappointed that I'm not going to be there.
The vibes are.
Vibes. Sydney AFLW fans, I hear, are doing great things.
It's the demographic of the Sydney Football Club is the best looking, cool young people vibes, and it's
you have
hype.
to be hot if you
Yeah,
Sydney.
there's a guy on the
like a
door.
yuppie.
It's like a nightclub. They're like, nah.
Sorry, mate.
They ring me so often to come, but How is Sydney looking this year? Chloe Malloy. I'm trying to think about. I don't know that many. I know they've got early
Privatelli's
draft.
going to be back from her injury.
Okay.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Beck Privatelli.
Beck.
It's like I know them all. I can just use their nicknames. But we haven't seen any teams in 8 months. So I'm genuinely like, I don't know
the
how.
practice matches are always a lie. Like, you just don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
They're testing out like positions and stuff.
What was that name?
Privatelli?
So it's predominantly a lot of Italian or European names play for Carlton, and I find myself getting hungry listening to commentary. There's some names that sound yummy to me, and that is a name that sounds like a nice little pastry.
Yep.
I thought more like a type of pasta.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I was thinking like a cured meat.
Okay, I was also thinking cured meat,
no, I
and then I was like, I don't want to say that.
But, you know.
Well, I was
We are not
right.
equating any player to
Anyway,
a
no,
piece of
no,
cured
no,
She
meat.
no.
can kick. She's a good player. So
Yeah.
that's a good.
Fun to watch.
Yeah, great. So we don't know if because Collingwood were finished lower last year as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they didn't
didn't play
finals.
finals, yeah.
They did make.
They didn't.
No.
I don't know who's going to win that.
Yeah, I'm going to go Sydney just because I don't know, and they'll have the home ground.
Home ground, yeah.
Yeah.
If Chloe kicks a goal, everyone will be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then they've just got the win, I feel.
I think she did media at university. I think or something like that.
Yeah, she's in the media.
And she worked at
industry.
Fox. She still might, maybe.
Yeah. Sydney's where it's at. You got to get up to Sydney and survive.
Yeah.
The second game, West Coast with Daisy Pearce.
And also why we're talking about, well, we didn't because I glazed over it, but with fixturing, because I love that games in Perth should be for a Perth audience.
Yeah.
But having a game scheduled at 9:15 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time,
Late.
if you're a Richmond fan, are you watching? Like, are you excited to watch this? Especially when like TV metrics are so important.
Yeah.
Like 9:15. If that was a men's game, wouldn't men's fans be
It's incredibly
annoyed
late.
about that?
No, would you be
9:15
super
p.m.
annoyed?
Anyway.
It's at Mineral Resources Park because it wants to be the most Perth-sounding thing
that
I've
is the
ever heard
funniest
of.
thing I've ever read.
Tigers with West Coast. Daisy Pearce's first game. I know they haven't been the strongest side, but now they're going to win every game because Daisy's there.
Yes, but I also want to set expectations.
No, we hope they go well this year.
But
We hope.
I'm tipping the Tigers because
I'm
they've got the
tipping the
MVP.
Tigers.
They've got
Yeah.
the MVP. The
That's
ru-
right.
Yeah, no, it's good. Good rivalry. I like it. Saturday, Giants versus Doggies. Rivalry exists here. That can carry over. And Manuka Oval. Oh, Canberra game.
Yeah, good oval, that one.
Yeah?
I think.
You've
I played
played
on
it?
one of them. There's like two in Canberra.
Oh, right.
Isn't there?
This is the one that's out of town a little bit. They GWS pump
It's
it up.
nice.
Doggies are they're young as well, and
Yeah.
they've got a new coach.
New
Yeah.
coach. Yeah.
New list, very new. So, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Giants because I know nothing about the Giants as far as the women's side goes. So I'm just assuming they're good.
Oh, really? The Giants are like the most people will have them for the wooden spoon.
They'll have them for the spoon.
Most people have so this is the one game that the Western Bulldogs might win this year. I didn't mean to actually drag those two guys.
No, I think you're being frank and honest about it, but also
I think that most Doggies people will be quite realistic that they're not going to win a lot of games this year, but they do think that this is one game that they can win. GWS have finished around the bottom of the ladder for the past few years, and in their practice game there was 11 scoring shots to 1 at halftime against Kangaroos. So Kangaroos had 11 scoring shots to 1.
they were pretty good that side.
As an example of where they're at.
Jazzy Garner and co.
Yes, yeah.
And then Essendon Docks.
Also, very interesting. Essendon won the last time they played each other, but
Is that Windy Hill?
yes, it is.
Bonnie Too Good.
Yep.
You're just naming players that you know.
Yes, absolutely. These are my flagship players. I couldn't go any deep. Who else plays for Essendon?
Well, Steph Kane, who
Pretty
used
easy
to
one
play
that you
for,
Maddie Presparkle is kind of hard to
Chris
do.
Sparks.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, great.
you used to play for Freo.
Oh, okay, great.
Kane, not Chris Sparks.
Was she captain at Freo?
No.
No, she was just captain.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Is it weird? No, I guess no, like going against someone like Prasparkas, who used to be so comfortable?
Nah, not anymore.
Yeah, cool.
No. She obviously loves Daisy.
Yes, I've heard that too. Do you know actually a women's player who used to play for Melbourne
Yeah,
and
you
went
say
to another
name?
club?
No.
I will not say their name. Was like, I still go for the D's. And I was really happy to hear that. Actually, a men's player told me that too, who played for
Right.
Melbourne and went to another club.
Really?
He was like, I still go for the D's.
How does that, like, did
That's a
they grow
shame.
up going for the D's?
No, they played for them, got
And
drafted by them, and then went to another
Right.
club for better opportunity and then told me that.
Interesting.
I've said too much.
I do find it interesting W players that will still publicly go for other
Yeah,
sides.
I don't do that.
No.
I
I can feel your competitive edge, actually. I
Well,
can feel it.
I just, like, if I want to, I'm in the club, like, I'm heavily invested in Carlton. Like, it feels wrong to go for anybody else.
Who'd you grow up going for?
Hawthorn.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And, like, I still want them to do well. I still enjoy watching, but up the
Like
Blues,
in
you know?
the men's, like full
the
up the
men's.
Blues?
Yeah, up the
Yeah,
Blues.
yeah.
You have 2 swimming pools, don't you?
At the club.
Not you.
I was just like,
Well, there's one, like, little lap pool. What do you mean? Like,
There's one pool?
well, there's one little lap pool, maybe
Yeah.
like 25 minutes, and then there's, like, your hot and cold.
That sounds like 2 pools.
It's like 3. kind of.
3 pools. Jeez. I think Melbourne, genuinely,
Well, Melbourne, like, don't they use facilities of...
we have 2 pools.
They're like Amy
but we
Park
share one pool
facilities.
with the Melbourne Storm.
yeah.
And Melbourne.
Sounds busy.
Yeah, no.
does sound
They're
busy.
big boys. That pool goes it's like it's a wave pool.
Yeah, the MSAC wave pool.
I'm tipping the Dockers. I think they're still good.
They actually had some good cracking matches. So.
Okay. Sunny Saints. Hey, Sunny's got.
Tom goes for the Suns.
Yeah, I do.
They got relatively good last year, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll make finals.
Yeah.
And then Saints are still quite young.
Looking
No.
better.
Nick Del Santo still coach.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going Suns.
I'm going Suns. But I actually think St Kilda will have a better year than last year. And last year they finished middle of the ladder. I
Yeah, like
think.
nearly finals.
Yeah.
Yep. It is one of the cool things is the connection to community that the players on these teams often have, and it's that we're moving towards hopefully it becoming more and more a part-time job for everyone, and them being able to. It's cool that like I can go Ben Russell the comedian, his PT plays for the Saints, so he has a personal connection to them. It's a nice layer. That's
Cool.
Yeah.
yeah.
Everyone knows someone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and isn't your accountant play for Melbourne as well?
They did. Elise O'Day is our accountant. Which,
I used to play with Lisa today.
she played for and she played for the
Absolute
D's.
legend.
That's not who I was talking about, by the way.
Questions will be asked. No, I love Elisa Day.
Yeah.
She's a great accountant, I hear.
Yeah, so I went to your BNF last year and she got up and I was like, that's,
How good was her speech?
yeah, and I was like, that's
stuck.
Elise O'Day.
Yeah.
And she started saying, I want to thank,
Did she give you a shout out?
no, because I was like, I knew Elise O'Day from the D's and I knew her from the Blues, but then I was like, she's an accountant. And then she thanked her boss, who is my accountant.
Yeah.
And then I was like, fucking Broden.
She's so funny.
Yeah. And I was like, Jesus Christ. It was really full on.
Yeah, that would have been really random. Like,
Yeah.
your accountant's just, yeah.
Yeah, no. But then to know them, it's like walking up to, Adam Sard or something, and him being your accountant as well. I was like, I know you from a completely
Yeah,
other
yeah.
world. Well, and then the game of the round is Cats D's GMHBA.
That will be a very good game.
Yeah.
Great shout.
First time they're playing each other. No, they played each other in the
surely not.
semi-final last year.
Yeah, and it was a great game of football.
Yeah. Yeah. Geelong won that one.
Yeah.
Because D's went
Oh,
out
no,
in straight sets. I
Yeah,
believe.
but D's like nearly came back.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. They did go out straight sets. That's my fail-safe. I know that to be true most of the time. But we did come back. North just belted us early and then we couldn't get back.
Yeah.
Have you seen the mosquito urinal?
Oh, no. I mentioned once on this podcast that the toilet that we have for media at Icon Park has a lot of mosquitoes in it.
Ew.
It's so bad. Have you ever been into...
I don't venture that like to that side.
It's the
like,
only
it's so dilapidated.
only
Is that
stadium
how
with
it works?
3 pools and a mosquito urinal.
They're getting to the renos on that side, I'm pretty sure. So.
Yeah.
They're taking their time. There's no Wi-Fi still. And there are times where like thing drops
It's hard
out.
to be
And I'm
media
like,
when you don't have Wi-Fi.
I know. And I'm like, if you want the coverage, just update the...
I'll talk to my people.
Can you actually though? Like, yeah. Because I love Icon Park.
Icon
But
Park, gorgeous.
But working a game at Icon is an experience. Anyway, so the mosquito toilet just keeps coming back.
I'm going D's. I'm going.
I'm gonna go Geelong actually.
Port. It's another
Although,
showdown.
I was going
Another
through the injury list today. Chloe, she's out for 4 to 5 weeks,
which is
with a
great because
toe.
we're playing them round 3. So
Oh, yeah, you need
So-
you
do
want a
it?
weekend.
no.
You want a weekend side to build up your confidence as a side.
That's exactly how you want to win games. Of
Yeah.
football. The showdown, just random. We got to go to the
Port
men's
versus Adelaide.
one because we played our pracky match in Adelaide. So much fun.
At Albert and Nova, was it?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
like we basically just wanted to go for the song and then we left for like quarter time. But yeah, the song.
Did you
was
sing
great.
the song?
We did. We got up and
love
about.
Port now because
Yeah, big fan.
I, as a humble brag, as a kid, I played on Albert and Oval,
Wow, humble.
and I was bad. Port or Adelaide,
I know. I'm actually going to go Adelaide, but showdowns, weird things happen.
but Adelaide are
Port-
such a
Port
powerhouse.
building.
Yeah,
building.
but I
Adelaide
reckon
is still Adelaide.
people are going to underestimate Adelaide because they've been at the top for so long and they had a
Adelaide are
little bit of a
always
dip.
good.
I know.
Adelaide give
Everyone's
us
a bit
stuff.
bored of it.
They give us stuff as well. Like
Really?
they turn out for this stuff, don't they?
Yes,
Yeah.
Adelaide footy is mad.
Yeah.
in the best way.
Good on them.
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
at Kinetic Stadium, Franger,
Frank.
at 1 p.m. on Sunday. Good time.
Yeah, great time.
Are you going to take Peninsula Link?
Well, if I want to pay what, like, is that the one you're
$48.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
And and they'll take a wheel of your car. I'm going to talk about CityLink.
Yeah, CityLink have an ad.
Why are we pointing up there?
Oh,
Because
because
on the telly.
because it was just on the telly before.
Oh my god, I saw that ad.
Oh, there you go.
And I was like, oh, weird ad. Wait,
Yes.
is that the one? How does it go again?
I'll get you back. I've only seen the visual, but I'm coming back and I'm going hard. But before then, I'm
Okay,
going to
sorry.
watch. Yeah, is
Who's winning that?
Carlton.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, Carlton.
You don't think that.
I'm going to tip Hawthorn.
Well,
I would never.
no, I
But
want to be
for the
underdog.
narrative, yeah, because I just
I don't know why
keep
everyone
it
thinks we are the
interesting.
underdog, but that's fine.
Where did you finish last season?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
But they're a
we
young,
switched up then.
developing team.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
New coach,
Surely
young,
Carlton
developing
have-
team. Now it's a mix of veterans like Gab Pound
Gab, nice one. We love Gab.
Cousin.
Cousin.
I didn't,
ish.
Yeah. And his
How does
cousin.
it ish?
My partner has a cousin,
and a twin.
and their cousin is Annie and Gab Pound.
Okay, so
Annie Rhodes and
it's
Gab
like
Pound.
fourth cousin.
We're
Yeah, but
blood.
then-
We bleed the same blood, Gab and I.
Gab and Annie, very funny little.
Annie
You
Rose,
should get
yeah.
them both on the podcast.
I would love that. Gab is the
they're
twin.
the same person.
Oh,
and they
I
have the
love
same
twins.
mannerisms. It's crazy. Freaks me out.
They're
That is
dope.
good.
I've been at lots of weddings doing this with them.
Yeah, they love a dance. Yeah.
So, and in closing, Carlton will win.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I
And
believe
but
so.
we know who's going to win. And then North v Brisbane, which is a grand final replay.
Replay.
Round 1, we love it.
Is that
So
what you say?
Replay, replay.
Rematch.
Well, I think it's a
You could say
replay because
either.
whoever wins actually won last year is what I'm deciding.
But this is up in Brizzy where it's like 30 degrees at the moment.
Ipswich.
God.
And so it's not even at Springfield.
No, it's a
my.
Brighton Homes Arena, which
Oh, so no, that is. So Brighton
Okay.
Homes Arena is Spring.
Can you not
Field.
search me up on it?
I know.
I didn't.
I hate that.
I just
funny.
searched who was the coolest.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
then
That's
you
what
came
comes
up.
up.
Now,
And
this isn't, you're right.
North-
It's not technically in Queensland, is it? It's 9 hours out of Brisbane.
yeah.
Wait, is it
That's just a
Oh,
joke about how far Springfield is away from Brisbane and
Yeah,
how
I didn't
annoying it
hear
is to
about
get
that.
there.
I'm a bit antagonistic towards Brisbane because my team beat them in a grand final up there. But then also, I believe they have the great heel of the league.
Why's that?
Dakota Davidson.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's antagonized quite a few of your players
Yeah.
in games.
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
very funny.
But then
Chance.
she
Yeah.
did it in the Grandy as well.
I
The
love
Grandy.
It. I'm
Yeah.
gonna start using that. The Grandy.
Thank you for holding me to account for that.
Sorry.
No, I like it.
I liked the sound of it. So
I reckon North.
yeah,
So North have never beat Brisbane in the history
What?
of AFLW.
not many people have been in Brisbane. To be fair,
Yeah.
pretty hard. To
They're brutal.
but
but
then
then
say North. I haven't voted on
also-
any of these.
Yeah.
In the grand final rematches every year, the team that's won the premierships never won that rematch.
Stat.
Really?
That's
Stat.
huge.
Fact.
I'm pretty sure I said that with
Stat.
so much confidence.
Yeah.
I'm
Back
If you
in.
just say a number in it.
5%
We'll all believe you. You don't-
sure about
yeah.
that. Well, so I'm going Brisbane to win it.
So you're changing that.
Yes.
Okay.
Even though I think North are going to get
Oh,
the
but it's gonna be
flag.
really hot, so maybe that'll. come
That's
into it.
yeah. Yeah.
Spring will have sprung.
Yes.
How nice! Like, I mean, apart from today, it nearly got blown away. But like you can
Today was-
feel the warmth coming, you know.
Yeah.
I can.
And smell
And
it.
my depression is gone.
Actually.
Yeah, genuinely. It got so cold this winter. I think the time when the W set, there's obviously this crossover period's not ideal, I don't think, but there's this nice. It's a nice time to go out and drink in a park and watch the
Come
W.
to Icon Park, have a bev.
Have a
Yeah.
pool wine. It's
Have a-
Kerno
yeah.
has his pool wines there.
Pool wine.
Pool, that's what they like. That's
Pool?
3 pools at Carlton. No, yes, pool wine.
Have you ever
You said
tried
there was
it?
no pools,
Like-
and now there's more. Not only is there 3 pools, there's a drink for the pool.
I have not tried it because I've been like on the ground playing, but maybe I should get over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who
Oh,
has
sure,
pool
lovely.
wine?
Ed Kerno.
And Charlie, or is it just Ed?
I think it's Ed Kerno is there every Icon game with his like
We love
wine
Ed. He's
cart.
great.
He's so lovely.
Oh yeah, that card I've seen that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's his pool wines. And my
Pool
favorite was like
wine?
I went over with my friend once.
What's wrong with pool
Yeah.
wine?
Why is it a pool wine?
That's
know.
the name of
Is it
the
made in a
brand.
pool? Do you drink it in a pool? What is it about it being a pool?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's just what it's called.
Is that just the name of it?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not. It's not like a category of wines. Can you search it up?
Pool wine.
pool wines?
Pool wines.
I was supposed to leave like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, you need
Sorry.
to get out of here.
Pool wines. Insulated cup.
I don't know.
I'm gonna get Ed Kerno in and drill him.
Okay.
I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna have to really go. We will have to leave it there. We've
Yeah.
been talking for way too long.
Oh,
Great.
Secrets.
Oh, well, just because we spoke a lot about before this about how Petrarca hasn't actually said anything yet, and a lot has been said about him within 48 hours with him
Yeah.
actually being able to put
That
voice
must
to it.
be hard.
Yeah, that's what I agree. And then a push notification just said that he's now aired grievances. So by the time this gets uploaded, he would have spoken.
and I'll sound like a hypocrite.
Well,
no, I'll sound like I didn't read them.
no,
I'll be
no.
like, why isn't he talking? He just talked. Great. Well, hey, thank you so much for coming in. Get down to Franger on Sunday if you
Absolutely.
can. Down Peninsula Link, just the or go the Springvale Road.
Go the cheap way. Yeah.
Go the cheap way, unless you're really well off and you won't even notice it's missing. Then get on Peninsula Link and stop at the BP.
Yeah.
But also go to any AFLW games this week that are near you, because it's going to be a vibe and a half. I hope the
this?
weather turns nice.
Yeah, we'll see.
Let's do a forecast,
Can I ask one question?
please.
For my fantasy, who's like one
fantasy.
lock that I should have? Or one
Oh,
player?
I'm really bad at this fantasy thing.
I know, me too. That's why I need help. But I want a player who,
It's like a bit rogue.
yes.
Not X-Men either.
Like from I don't really know about the whole
Yeah,
league, so I'll just go
Carlton's fine.
Carlton. Like, I don't know if you have Matty Gear in your team, but like, do you get more points for being able to launch the ball like more than 60 meters?
Meters gained.
No, I don't
No.
think so.
Okay. Don't worry about that one then.
Do you
I don't-
get
is a
points for
ruck-
what do you
pool
get?
wines?
Well, yeah.
Is a ruck good?
She's
Yes.
so expensive.
Modes.
Yes.
Well, Goody gets a lot of hit outs.
She's the second most expensive. Oh my god, expensive.
And extensive.
Behind Ali Morfitt, but Ali Morfitt is
Is
also
she injured,
injured.
right?
Yeah, so maybe because I did put her in.
I feel like I'm too expensive for what I give.
How much
How
are
much
you?
are you?
I don't know. Someone
You'd be in
told
the
one of my
millions.
mates, like, you were the first player I picked. I'm like, I just don't think that's a good idea. Like, I might be doing stuff on the field, but in terms of fantasy, I'm not sure I'm actually.
You get like heaps
Why do you
of
say it like
touches, though.
that?
I don't know, I just said it weirdly.
Fantasy. It's not that kind of. It's just stats and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't tackle enough. I try to tackle.
Yeah, you should change the way you play to be good.
Yeah,
for-
I actually don't care about the result of the game.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get those fantasy points.
That's what we want to hear.
Maybe pick
Kez
me for
then?
the season. Kez is back and she's looking really fit, so
Okay.
maybe that's the one. I didn't give you any help just then.
We have derailed. I'm going to end it. Thank you so much. Bounce that pill. And we can keep rolling live because there's a hype video on Fox Footy playing right now and I'm waiting to see you.
See,
Is that how you
what's,
close out? Bounce that pill.
Yeah,
I love that.
this pill.
Days.
half the reason I couldn't be an athlete is like I can't deal with all the close-up shots.
Oh my god, they're so awkward.
You did this.
Oh, I know, and I hate.
So
I can't watch
serious
that
too.
video that we did.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah.
That wasn't me. But
So we're
thanks.
just watching TV now, folks. Feel free to hang out. If not, lovely to see you. Lovely
Come
chat.
on.
But they're just going to keep watching Fox Footy here. Matisse, if you're here, you can come in. I believe
I don't know.
Matisse is
I hope she's
watching.
okay.
She's
No,
on the
she's
couch.
watching. Text me. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's on the couch with Gary Lyon and and Nathan Buckley. Yeah. It's a show on Fox Footy.
Oh, okay.
No, she
I
knows
do
she's
know.
out
That
there.
was really silly. Like that went right over my head. But I know
Do
what you're
you
talking about.
watch a lot of like AFL media stuff?
My parents love it, so if I go home, we put it on.
I assume they'll be watching right now.
Oh, I mean, I haven't let anyone know about this because.
Thank you so much, everyone. I
we
have
need
to
to get
run.
photos with you and Mimi before.
Photos.
Yeah. Why don't I end the stream and we go do that?
Okay.
Thank you, everybody,
Thank
for
you so
listening.
much, team.
Maybe-
That was a
Appreciate it.
wild one, and we
Bye.
appreciate you. And we'll see you next week.
Maybe
Bye-bye.
be a good one.